Yo, what's going on, boys and girls? Good to see you guys back. Just with a quick update, just wanting to talk about Yuri Tielemans now. It seems that your boy Yuri Tielemans, his Leicester departure has been officially confirmed. Fabrizio Romano has just revealed that he will be leaving the King Power Stadium this summer, and the Gunners' plans haven't changed. He's going to be high on their list, despite missing out on Champions League football, and that's realistically going to be another situation where put the big men in control, Edu and Arteta, and let them sit down in front of him, have a meeting, and let them talk to him about what his plans are going to be, how much he's going to feature, and what difference he can make to Arsenal. If we had somebody like him in the team this year, we would have made top four. There are certain things where we have a team that we went through with last season, and there was players on the pitch who just wasn't bringing the funk. Yeah, they wasn't really adding much to the team. And when you look at where we have weaknesses, like in a number eight role and things like that, and there's just no goals coming from the midfield. I mean, when you think about the job that Gabriel has done, Gabriel's outscored with his 5 goals, Lacazette throughout a whole season, and Aubameyang in half a season. That's what Gabriel has been able to do. Two strikers who were 60 million each. Yeah, Gabriel's outscored both of them. But in the midfield, that's the key area we got to focus on. And when you look at Yuri Tielemans, you can't argue with his input. Yeah, you cannot argue with his tackles, interceptions. His gap play is fantastic. I mean, he pretty much maxes out the defensive stats. And then offensively, well, it speaks all for itself. He had 6 goals and 4 assists, so he was involved in 10 league goals. So when you look at someone like Xhaka, Xhaka's been talked about going to Roma. You know, we all know what happened last summer. But Xhaka has been involved in 10 league goals over the last 3 years. So when you look at that, Yuri Tielemans has done in 1 year what Xhaka has done in 3 years. That's how much you'll be able to bring to your midfield. Imagine having that amount of goals and that amount of creativity. He's having double the amount of assists than any of our midfielders, and he's had 6 goals. 6 goals. 6 goals. that's that's incredible. I mean, I know I talk about Ruben Neves, and Neves is a guy who's going to do that for you as well. But Neves has a heavy price tag on him. Yuri Tielemans, as you know, he's got the release clause. And that release clause is going to speak volumes in terms of having a team like Arsenal that has to push their focus to striker. You know, we're going to go big on striker. So therefore, you're going to have to see where you can start to fit kind of bits in. And that brings me on to my next subject. Mikel Arteta has talked about how he's got the kids, he's built the foundation to, build up a team where they are. But now he's saying he's looking to add quality players, quality veteran players around the age of 26, 27, 28. That's what he's looking for right now. So when you look at that, I think that settles the nerves down, doesn't it, guys? It settles the nerves because everybody's been thinking, oh my God, last year we bought 6 kids. Now we're going to go and buy some more, pitney them. And then you're going to have that thing where, this old Premier League trope, Alex Ferguson and Wenger went through it, where kids will never win you anything. So we've all been talking about the veteran guidance from bringing in veteran players, and it looks like that's exactly what they want to do. So I just want to see how that kind of plays out, because like I said, there are 189 free agents out there, guys who are out of contract. We just heard about Robert Lewandowski. He's going to be leaving Bayern Munich. That's going to be a big, 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 big miss for them, because all the guy does is score goals. And he's going to be on the market as well. But I'd see someone like him playing in Spain. But it's good to know what the plan is as a fan. It's really good to know their direction now is to kind of build some experience and leadership all throughout the pitch by bringing in some veteran players. So I can't wait to see that happen as well. Also, guys, Aaron Hickey's move to Arsenal ever seems closer now. The 21 million deal to bring him to the Emirates seems to be edging a lot closer, as Arsenal now heavily reported to be in negotiations. I know they met his agent today, and the talks are looking good. I mean, this guy looks like he was going to be an Arsenal player. But the sad news is Florentina talks have broken down with Arsenal, and they look like they're pulling out of the Lucas Torreira deal, which was 12.5 million. That would have really helped Arsenal a bit in terms of what they're doing. Remember, Arsenal are trying to recuperate this 60 million, which means the likes of Bernd Leno, that stalled again with Benfica, 8.5 million. So there's a lot of problems elsewhere where, you look at the Leno deal and the Torreira deal. That is already, you're talking about 21 million there straight away, and the clubs are struggling to put that money up. So we've heard this before with Socrates and all these other players that we were letting go a year ago, and it seems to be this trend where teams just don't have enough money to play around with getting transfers in. And look, they're going to need to do something, because he had a really good season for them. He had 6 goals and 3 assists for them in the midfield, and their fans are really annoyed not being able to be an option next season. In fact, there's bans on their Twitter page which says Torreira in and the chairman and the president out to Arsenal. Yeah, they want to get rid of the chairman and send them to Arsenal instead and keep Lucas Torreira. Also, Real Betis, which is Hector Bellerin, the same applies there. They've turned around and said, we haven't got any money, but we'd love to keep the player. So it's just this common theme that we're seeing, where those kind of teams that we're sort of playing ball with really don't have no money to spend. And it's just, for me, it's like it's a waste of time, because you've done that, you've had the agreement. The agreement's been there with the option to buy at the end of the loan. And then 12 months' time, COVID's kind of, fans are back in the stadium now, revenue's starting to become a thing, and the clubs are not necessarily in the same positions as they was last year. But then they just turn around and saying there's no money in the kitty. And it's not like these guys are going to cost them the arm and the leg. So you really got a feel for Arsenal, but they will try to recoup some of this money. As I said, you've got some commodities there. You've also got Maitland-Niles. He'll probably look like he's going to go to an English team. Roma, it hasn't really worked out well for him. He played 7 games for them, looked really good, and he's been riding the bench for quite a long time. So whatever's happening there is not in his favour, because he hasn't been playing in the midfield. He hasn't had the run of games. And now I know there's 4 teams that are coming for him, that have inquired for him. I don't expect him to stay at Arsenal. I think that they're going to move him on. Next thing is going to be Everton's Richarlison. He admits that he's pondering his future now, and he said on the 20th of June he'll let Frank Lampard know exactly what he wants to do. So the fact that he's mentioned that date, and the fact that that is the date where officially contracts end, means that his days at Everton are numbered, and he's probably asked for a transfer move. Where does that leave him with Arsenal? I don't think it leaves him anywhere. I do like the player, but I don't think he's what we're looking for. I really don't. Some of you lot might like him. He's definitely a better alternative to Calvert-Lewin, but that still doesn't make it right. Yeah, it still doesn't put us in a position where we've got a guy that's going to get 15, 20 goals for you on a consistent basis. It's just not really that guy. You've heard about Osimhen, 84 million for him. Just a fantastic talent. He's kind of your more polished Alexander Isak. The guy's big. He can do things in the box. He can turn. He's got a lovely touch on him. Reminds me a lot of Adebayo. His aerial prowess is phenomenal. I haven't seen a player that's headed so many goals in throughout a season since probably Giroud. He is just a powerful force with his aerial presence on the inside. The amount of times Arsenal cross balls into the box, you kind of look at him and think to yourselves, he's going to do a job if he comes here. But I mean, it would be amazing if they pull it off. I just think that 84 million is just if they do it, they do it. And we have so many needs elsewhere that, look, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it, and it's a statement of intent, and then he'll kind of solve most of your problems. But the fact that you're going to have a Gabriel Jesus there, Nketiah is going to be there, I really don't know what they're going to do with striker, because for me personally, guys, I'd rather them add Gabriel Jesus and then try and fix the midfield and try and get some goals from the midfield. Try and get someone like Gnabry. If you bought Gnabry in and you bought Gabriel Jesus in, there's your goals right there. Now, you talk about Serge Gnabry, which leads me on to him now. Bayern Munich has set a date where they're going to say their contract offer is going to come off the table, and it don't look like the guy really cares, to be honest with you. We know how much he follows Arsenal because of all of his Twitter, especially when we're playing Spurs. He's still a goon. It hurt him when he left here as well, but he played 30 games last season and scored 17 goals. Now, you look at the fact that that kind of production, he's averaging more than a goal every other game. And we just don't have that here. And that's from the wide. That's not even at the point at striker. That's the kind of help that we need. You talk about the likes of Lundberg and Perez, and you talk about Sanchez and Walcott, and those are the situations where you've got guys who can give you double-digit goals. And we just need to get back to that. And we need to get back to it with authority. Because right now, we all know we ran out of legs in the last 10 games. It all caved in. Martinelli, Smith Rowe and Saka's form just fell off a mountain. And then the defence didn't have a clean sheet in the last 10 games. And all the injuries, the Thomas Partey, Tierney, Tomiatsu's in and out, it happened because of those reasons. You turn up to situations where you have to win, and these guys had nothing left in the tank. And I know a lot of people are saying they bottled it, but there's reasons why they bottled it. And I think if you just go in there and reinforce the squad, then that's something that is going to help you next season. Next season's going to get a lot more tougher. A lot of people saying, yeah, Arsenal's definitely going to make top four. No, they're definitely not going to do anything. Next season's going to be hyper competitive. Everyone's going to strengthen. Everyone's going to get better. And it's going to be another battle. It's going to be as hard as it was this season. And let's just hope that we bring in the right tools. But Gnabry, he's going to be looking for a fair bit. He's going to be looking for a big wage. And I'm not sure whether Arsenal can actually do that for the player. Somewhere in the region of 250 grand, 300 grand a week. That's a lot of money, even if the deal is 33 million, which you've done with Aubameyang and you've done it with Ozil. And it's almost like we're not learning from these experiences. You have to start learning from these experiences. Pepe wasn't bad because he's only on 140 grand a week. But the fact of the matter is, you've got to do something there and not kind of follow your heart with these things. You have to start to think with your head and see how these things will affect the balance of the team. 300 grand a week for a winger is big time money. It's big time money. The likes of Raheem Sterling and all them guys, that's the kind of caliber you're looking for. But we're not in the Champions League. So it's not like you can afford to sign kind of bleed out money like that. But look, if they get something done, they get something done, and you can cover these things with signing bonuses and things like that. But I just want to see where that goes, man. But look, I would welcome it. I really would. I'd welcome a front line of Gabriel Jesus, Gnabry on the right, Saka, and then Odegaard. I'd like a front line like that. I think we'd have a lot of goals, a lot of creativity with a line like that. But let me know what you guys think, man, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Peace out.